I watched somebody with absolutely zero experience walk into a boardroom last month and convince 3 investors to write him checks totaling $500,000 for an idea that he barely understood. And I watched the person who actually built the technology, who had 15 years of experience in a working prototype, get completely ignored in the same room. And the thing is that this wasn't an isolated accident. I see this happen constantly. In pitch meetings, networking events, conferences, high-level dinners, the most capable person in the room is almost never the one that walks out with an opportunity. And there is a specific reason why this happens. It's something that I've been studying for the past few years as a confidence and communication coach, working with high performers who are excellent at what they do, but invisible in the rooms that matter. It's the same reason that I've been able to build a global network that allows me to have conversations with people that I have no business talking to. It's the reason that my clients go from overlooked to becoming the person that everyone remembers. And it's the reason that somebody less qualified just got the opportunity that you have been working towards. Most people think that the gap between somebody who gets noticed and someone who gets ignored is talent, credentials, or luck. But it's not. It's something so specific that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And once you learn how to do it, then everything will change for you. Literally everything. But here's what makes this dangerous. You could be the most capable person in every room you walk into and still be invisible. You could have the best ideas, the most experience, the best resume, and people will still not remember that you were even there. And the worst part is that you probably don't even realize that you're doing it. Because the thing that makes people remember you or forget you isn't at the level of what you are saying. It's happening at a level that most people were never taught to pay attention to. And that's what this video is about. I'm gonna show you exactly what is creating that gap, why talent alone will never ever be enough, and what actually makes somebody command a room, close a deal, or become unforgettable in a 30-second conversation. Because the world that I operate in, these high-level rooms, global networking, conversations with people who can change the entire trajectory of your career with a single introduction, none of that happens by accident, and none of it happens because you're the smartest person there. Let me explain. Every day in rooms all over the world, there is something silent happening, okay? Not based on who's the smartest, not based on who's the most qualified, okay? It's based about who can make people feel certain about them in the first 10 seconds of an interaction. And here's the part that's going to sound unfair. That certainty has nothing to do with your actual capability. It has everything to do with how your nervous system is showing up in that room. Let me take you inside a situation that I witnessed 2 weeks ago. It's a high-level networking dinner, okay? Entrepreneurs, investors, people who have built 8-figure and 9-figure companies. There's a guy there, let's call him Mark, who has built a genuinely genius AI tool. Brilliant guy, Stanford PhD, 15 years in the industry, the whole gig. And he's sitting at a table with 2 investors that could change the entire trajectory of his career. He knows his stuff. He's prepared. He's got all the data lined out. But when he starts talking, something happens. His voice tightens. He rushes through his explanation. He keeps glancing down at the table, and within 90 seconds, both the investors are completely mentally checked out. Not because his idea was bad, okay? It's because their nervous system read him as uncertain and therefore ignored him. They mirrored that uncertainty that he had back at him. They became uncertain in his idea. Now, 3 seats down, there's another guy. No PhD, no years of experience, whatever. And all he has is honestly a half-baked idea. But when he talks, he's calm. He can hold eye contact. He can sit in silence. He doesn't have to fill every single gap in conversation. And by the end of the dinner, both investors asked for his contact information. Same room, same opportunity, completely different outcomes. And the difference wasn't intelligence, it wasn't preparation, and it wasn't even the quality of the idea that he was speaking on. The difference was his presence, the way that he spoke, the way that he articulated himself, his presence that he had. Here's what most people don't understand about human interaction. In every conversation that you have, you are broadcasting 2 separate signals. The first signal is content, exactly what you're saying, the information that you are sharing. And the second signal is metacommunication, and it's the only thing that determines how people actually respond to what you're saying. Metacommunication is everything underneath the words, your tone, your eye contact, your pace, the way that you take up space, the tension in your shoulders. Do you lean in? Do you fall back? And here's the critical part. The second signal is always without fail louder than the first. You can say all the right things, but if your body language is screaming to other people, I don't feel like I belong here, then that is what they believe. It doesn't matter what you're saying. That's what people respond to, and it's something that I see all the time with people that I work with. They're founders, executives, high performers. On paper, they're incredibly impressive. But when they walk into a room with people that they perceive as higher status, investors, potential partners, industry leaders, then their nervous system goes into a low-level threat response. Not panic, not fear, just enough activation in their brain to start making them second guess everything that they're doing and everything that they're saying. And that hesitation that they have gets broadcasted to everyone else in the room. The person across from them picks it up unconsciously. Their brain registers that this person is uncertain, and uncertain reads as incompetent. It doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how much you have accomplished. If your nervous system is broadcasting uncertainty, then that is what people will believe. So why does this happen? Why do capable people walk into rooms and suddenly feel like they don't even belong? It comes down to something that most people have never thought about. Self-trust. Not confidence, not just belief in oneself. Can you trust yourself? And there's a difference. Confidence is a feeling, it's a mood, it depends on how your day is going, on what you drank that morning. However, self-trust is evidence-based. It's your nervous system's assessment of whether you actually follow through on what you say you will follow through on. And here's the thing, most people don't follow through. They tell themselves, oh, I'm going to start that business. Oh, I'll finally start that difficult conversation. Oh, I'll finally reach out to that person that I'm intimidated by. And then they don't. They hesitate. They wait for the right time. They talk themselves out of it. And every time that they do that, their nervous system registers it as, oh, we don't actually do hard things. We just think about doing them. So when they walk into a high stakes situation, their body doesn't trust them because it has a track record of evidence that they back down when things get uncomfortable. And that lack of self-trust shows up as hesitation, as a tight voice, as an avoidance of eye contact, as apologizing before they even start speaking. And the room picks up on it immediately. Let me show you what the opposite looks like. The people who command rooms, who close deals, build powerful networks, become unforgettable in every room that matters, they're not smarter than you. They're not more charismatic, they're not more extroverted. They just have a different relationship with discomfort than you do. When they walk into a room that feels intimidating, they don't wait to feel comfortable before taking action. They act first, and their nervous system adjusts to that. Let me give you an example from my own life. 3 years ago, I was at a conference. I really wanted to network with people that were way more successful and way better than I was. And every single part of me wanted to wait for the perfect moment to not interrupt, to not break the pattern. But I made myself walk over, introduced myself, just said something simple. And that 3-minute conversation led to an introduction, which led to a mentor, which led to invites into rooms that I didn't think I could have access to. One singular moment of being willing to be uncomfortable for 3 seconds changed my trajectory. And here's what I've learned since then. That's how everything significant happens. Not through waiting for confidence, not through perfect preparation. Through being willing to be uncomfortable slightly more often than the people around you. Now, let me show you the other side of this, because every time that you hesitate, you're not just losing out on that one singular opportunity. You are losing the compound effect that would have come from everything after it. That conversation you didn't have, that person was connected to 5 different people that could have changed your career. That introduction you didn't make, someone else made it, and now they're in the room that you want to be in. That moment in the meeting where you had the best idea but didn't speak up, somebody else said a worse idea and got the credit for moving the needle forward. These moments feel small in the moment, but a year from now, the gap between you and the person who didn't hesitate is enormous. Not because they're more talented, mind you, but because they were willing to be uncomfortable more often. And those moments compounded. So how do you actually change this? Because telling yourself to be more confident won't work, giving yourself affirmations in front of the mirror won't work, mindset shifts won't work. And so what works is building evidence. Your nervous system doesn't trust what you tell it. Your nervous system trusts what you have done. So you have to do that one thing that you are avoiding. Not just once, repeatedly, time after time after time. You do it badly, you do it uncomfortably, and you survive. And then you do it again, and again, and again. And after enough repetitions, your nervous system stops treating it like a threat. It learns, oh, this isn't dangerous. We've been here before. We know what to do. And that's when everything shifts. Your voice drops, your shoulders relax, eye contact with anyone feels effortless instead of effortful. You stop performing confidence and you start inhabiting it. It becomes automatic. But you can't think your way there. You have to build it through action. Let's make this concrete. Let's say that you're going to a networking event next week and it's a room full of people that you want to connect with. Your old pattern is that you show up, stay on the edges of the room, wait for somebody else to approach you, and then leave feeling honestly disheartened. Your new pattern is that you make yourself talk to 3 people just 3, who intimidate you. Not long conversations, just introductions. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. Your heart is gonna race. You're not gonna know what to say. You're gonna stumble over your words. But you do it. And then you do it at the next event, and the one after that, and the one after that. And by the 5th event, your body stops panicking. It knows what to do. It knows that you can survive and that this interaction won't kill you. And that's when people start responding to you differently. Not because you said anything different, but because your nervous system is no longer broadcasting uncertainty. Or let's say that you're in meetings where you constantly have good ideas, but you never speak up. Your old pattern is that you wait for the perfect moment, then somebody else speaks up, and you stay silent. Your new pattern is that you force yourself, no matter what, to speak in the first 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it won't be. You do it once, it feels terrible, but you survived. You do it again at the next meeting, and you feel a little bit better. And by the 10th meeting, speaking up is automatic. Your body trusts that you can handle whatever response you get. This is how you build self-trust, through repetition, not belief. Let me tell you about the world that I work in now, because this illustrates why this all matters. I have conversations with people who are building 8-figure companies. I get invited into rooms where multi-million-dollar deals happen over dinner. I connect people who end up becoming co-founders, investors, and strategic partners. And none of that happened because I'm the smartest person in any of those rooms. By far, I'm likely the most dumb. It simply happened because I learned how to show up in a way that makes people remember me. And I teach this to my clients. They come to me already capable, already successful, already in the rooms that matter. And we don't work on their technical skills. We work on how they enter rooms, how they hold presence under pressure, how they command attention without saying a word. And within weeks, they get results that they've been chasing for years. Same person, same expertise, but a different presence. Because once your nervous system learns that it can take up space without being punished, then everything changes. If you've watched this far, you probably recognized something or resonated with something I've said along the way. Maybe you've been the best person with the best idea who stayed silent. Maybe you've watched somebody less qualified get the opportunity that you deserved. Maybe you felt invisible in rooms where you know you belong. And maybe you're realizing that this isn't a motivational problem. It's not about thinking harder or having positive thinking. It's a skill that you've just never learned. And the good thing is that it's learnable, not through affirmations, not through waiting until you feel ready. Through doing uncomfortable things repeatedly until your nervous system stops treating them as threats. I work with people who are tired of being invisible. People who are already capable, already intelligent, already successful in some areas, but stuck when it comes to commanding rooms, building networks, and translating their competence into presence. If that's you and you're ready to actually start building this skill instead of just thinking about it, I am looking for people to work with. Not people who need motivation, people who are willing to do uncomfortable things to get results. If you want to talk, send me a message and we will see if it's a fit.